Okay, welcome guys to the next tutorial. So today we are making a mustard ketchup bottle, kind of stereotypical thing that you would find in a chippy. So we're going to go ahead and just delete off the default cube, and we're going to add a circle. We'll scale this out, and we're going to go to the edit mode, press F for fill, E for extrude, just slightly, and then scale it outwards. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put a side view on here so you guys can see what's going on. So just one for the side view if you need that. Right, so we'll take this from here. So we're going to go E for extrude again. We might want to just scale this outwards slightly, and then E for extrude again, scale outwards, oops. Scale outwards just slightly. We kind of want a soft plastic with this. And then we're going to go straight up. Press G to bring that back up to roughly there. Then we're going to go E for extrude, scale it inwards just slightly, E for extrude, scale it inwards just slightly, E for extrude, scale it inwards just slightly. I'm going to go back and just scale that one just outwards just a bit. E for extrude and then scale inwards just slightly. And then what we want to do is just bring this one down. So now we've got this nice little base going on. We're going to go E for extrude again, scale it in, and then we're going to go E for extrude, and this is where the lid's going to sit. So we're just going to do a little extrude right there, a little extrude again, don't move it, scale it outwards just slightly, and then we're going to go extrude upwards just for the lid, and then E for extrude, scale in a little bit, E for extrude, and then scale in a little bit again. Just press G, bring it down a little bit, and then we're going to go E for extrude, put it up just slightly, and then scale it all the way in. And then we're going to go E for extrude, and this will be the nozzle. So it's going to be almost like a triangle, so all we need to do is just extrude it just at the edge, as so. So, when we get to this part, and we're, right at this bit, we're going to go E for extrude. And you don't have to do the inside of it, but I just like to do the little kind of hole at the top. So I'm just going to go E for extrude and just bring it down. To where it needs to be. So once we've done this, go to object mode. We're going to go click right to shade smooth. And this will be our condiment bottle. So usually these are red in colour. I'm just going to go ahead and change my render engine to cycles. And this is what we should have. Obviously the lighting's a little bit poor on this. Just grab this light right here, just bring it up. And just bring it back a little bit. And then we can improve this light right here by clicking here. And just scroll it up. Alternatively, you can type in here, just add a couple of extra zeros. And you should have a pretty bright light. Now that's maybe a little bit too bright for our scene, but it'll do for the moment, just so that we can see what's going on with everything. Dipping pot sauce wise. So with this as well, we can go to edit mode, come off the render mode. Let's go to click on this, go to edit mode. So sometimes we have ridges going around the outside, so we can just Control R, make a little loop cut here, Control R, make a little loop cut here. And what we can do is we can take, say, every one or so. Just as such. Then we can go E for extrude, leave them where they are, and then just scale them inwards just slightly. So now we've got this little bit of a grip on the outside. You don't have to do that, but sometimes they do have these little bevels going on just on the outside. So I'm just going to scale this down just slightly. And then scale it outwards. So now we have this kind of grip on the outside of the bottle. So what we can do now is we can go Shift D, move these across, and now we have 2 red bottles. So to change the colour of this bottle, we're just going to go to edit mode, press A to select everything, go down to your materials tab at the bottom of your screen right here, and we will go plus, we're going to go assign, and we're going to go new. When it catches up, and then we're going to change this one to yellow. So roughly about that. So now what we have is 2 sauce bottles all ready to go. Yeah, mustard and ketchup. So that's the end of the tutorial. Nice little props to put in the background on any scenes that you've got or in any games that you're making currently. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hi, so welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So I'm going to be showing you how to make kind of a 1970s lamp. I've been looking on Pinterest and this has been coming up quite often. So I thought I'd have a go at making it for you guys today and teaching you how to do it. So we're going to go ahead and start with a circle from the mesh drop down. We're going to go scale, and then we're going to go to edit mode. We want to press F to give this a face, and we're going to go E for extrude just slightly, and we're just going to scale out just slightly to make a slight bevel on the bottom. Now I'm going to split my screen in half. Oops, we don't want to do that bit. Come on, there we go. Right, so I'm just going to press 1 on the number pad right here so you guys can see kind of a side view of what's going on whilst I work on the 3D view. So we're going to start with E for extrude. I'll just bring it up. E for extrude just slightly, and we're just going to slightly come in, and then E for extrude, slightly come in again, and then we're just going to go straight up. At this point we can kind of pull this in just slightly, and then we're going to go E for extrude. We'll scale this outwards just again, and then E for extrude again, scale outwards, E for extrude, E for extrude, and then we're going to go E for extrude and then scale in. Sorry if I'm going a bit too fast here, I'm so used to going like so quickly. So E for extrude in the middle, and this is just kind of a made up kind of 1970s inspired lamp. So we're just going to bring this up just to here, E for extrude again, and then just bring it in, E for extrude, and this is where your bulb's going to sit. So we're just going to take this part and we'll scale it outwards, and then we'll come back, oops, sorry, just get back on that one, E for extrude again, and then we'll just scale this one inwards, E for extrude, don't move it, and then scale inwards, and then just come down just slightly so we can see on the x-ray there's this little bevel that's going on the inside. So this part right here, if we go to object mode, we're going to shade smooth, come into your materials right here, new, and then we're going to go to, we're going to make this a gold colour, so we're going to go metallic up, roughness down. If you haven't already, change your render engine to cycles, and this is what we should have. So the light's not great on here, so I'm just going to go to the light right here, I'm going to change it to a sun, see if that makes any difference, and then I'm going to add a plane underneath so we can just scale it out, and now we can see the shine on it as we do so. So I'm just going to tone down the sun a little bit because I think it's a little bit too bright, so I'm just going to go with 50. Actually no, we'll go with 5. So this right here, we can go to material and we can add a little bit of roughness to it if you want to, or you can take that away. Totally up to you. So we've kind of got this very gold looking piece right here. What we want to do is go ahead and add, we'll go with a cylinder press G, bring it up, and we're just going to scale this up very nicely. So with the cylinder itself, what you want to do, go into edit mode. You want to take this top face right here, and we're just going to shrink it in. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete that face. And then take the bottom one and go ahead and delete that one. Press A to select everything, E for extrude, keep it where it is, and then we're just going to scale outwards. So now we have this nice little lampshade that's going to sit on top. So take this, shade it smooth. We're just going to scale this down, and then we'll scale this up just slightly. I think that's a bit too big. And then we'll place this just here, so it's almost like this kind of bottle type lamp that we've got. So once we've got all of this, let's go into the materials tab. So before we go into the materials tab, I'm just going to take a icosphere, press G, bring it up, and we'll just elongate it just slightly, make it a little bit bigger. So this will be our light bulb. So obviously we're not going to see this inside of the piece, so it can just be an icosphere the way that it is. So go to your materials tab, press new, come down to your principled BSDF, and we're going to go to emission, and we're just going to turn this up. So I'm just going to remove this sun just for the moment. We can replace it afterwards. So now you'll see that we have a light, so we can actually turn this light down. Oops, I think I got the wrong one there. So if we look at this light right here, let's go to the icosphere for 1 second. We can turn the light down, and we can turn the light on. So with this shader right here, we kind of want to almost make it glow, but we also want this transparency as well. So we're going to go with roughness, bring it up, and we're just going to go alpha and just bring the alpha down just slightly so that it glows a little bit. And obviously it's got that little bit of see-through going on. So with this particular lamp, we can also change the colours. So we can have a red lamp if you wanted to, and you get that lovely glow from the outside. Also, I would say subsurface. You could use a little bit of subsurfacing with this. You could also use a little bit of transmission. So you've got that nice little glow coming off the lamp itself, and you could turn up the alpha in theory. So the alpha's all the way up, and your transmission is just slightly up as well, so we can take that down, we can make it full, and you've got that nice little glow coming from the lamp. So yeah, that's the 1970s kind of bottle lamp that I've been looking at Pinterest, that's come up a few times. Yeah, if you like this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and all that jazz. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, welcome guys. So we've got the next Blender tutorial today. We're going to be doing kind of a public bathroom. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with the default cube. I'm just going to go ahead and press G, just bring it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a plane in first, scale this up, and then I'm just going to scale it across, because what we're going to do is we're going to make the bathroom floors first, and then we'll move on to the main project. So we might need to edit that a little later on, but when we get there, we'll get there. So we're going to take the default cube, and we're just going to scale this out. This is going to be the counter for the sink. Press G, bring it across, and then G, just bring it down, just ever so slightly just here. I'm just going to scale this in actually, just to get some size proportion going on right here. And then I'm going to go to the edit mode. I'm just going to Control R, loop cut this. So we've got a little bit of a quarter right here. Just quarter this out. And then we're going to go to faces. I'm just going to go E for extrude. Make a little bit of a lip at the bottom. And then from here, what we're going to do, we will go ahead and add a cylinder in. Let's rotate this by 90. Scale it out. So this is actually going to be an emission piece, so a little bit of lighting that's going on underneath. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this just underneath the cabinet, just as so. Scale it down as much as you need, scale it across as much as you need. I'm just going to sit it right here. So scale it down just slightly. And I'm going to place it to the back. Okay, so once we've got this, we're going to go to material, click new, and this will be the underlighting. Let's put this as kind of like orange white. I'm just going to put OW at the end. We'll change the principal BSDF to the emission. And we're just going to turn this up a little bit. Now, what we want to do, so the sinks that I'm kind of looking at making are kind of these oval sinks, so we'll make those just to begin with. So we're going to start off with a cylinder. Actually, no, we'll scratch that. Go to mesh, we'll go to circle, press G just to bring it up. Just place it on top of the cabinet just here, and we'll do kind of a size comparison. So with these little bowls that we're having for the sinks, we're just going to scale these down just slightly, so they've got a little bit of a base. We're going to go with edit mode, press F for fill. We're going to go E for extrude, scale this outwards, E for extrude, scale this outwards, E for extrude, scale outwards, E for extrude, scale outwards, and you just want to make like a little bowl kind of thing. And then we'll go E for extrude, E for extrude. Now come in just slightly on this one. And then we go get E for extrude, don't move it, and then we'll scale this one just inwards, just slightly. So we have this kind of appearance. E for extrude again, scale it inwards, and then we're going to press G and just start bringing it into the bowl a little bit. Now, what you can do, you can use X-ray on this so you can see what's going on, oops, on the inside. So we're just going to go, I'm going to press 1 on the number pad. And we can just come to here. We're going to go E for extrude. Bring it down to here. E for extrude. Scale it inwards. E for extrude. Scale it inwards. E for extrude. Scale it inwards, E for extrude, and then we're just going to go ahead and scale this one inwards just to the bottom right there. So this will be the principle of our kind of hand bowl that we've got. Right click, shade smooth, just take off the X-ray just for one moment. So what I want to do with this actually is scale it outwards just slightly. So it's a little bit too small for our cabinet. So I'm just going to go ahead and scale this up just again. We're going to put the taps from the wall there. So we're going to go one sink here, and then we'll have one sink here and one sink here. So Shift D. Oops. Maybe we could go 5. No, let's go 3. I'll go 4. 3.5. Yeah, okay. Let's go 3.5. 3.5. So I've got to do all the taps 3.5 as well. So now we have these lovely little bowls going on. We can actually scale this downwards just a little bit. Make sure that your lighting's still underneath. Just place that just there. Okay, so take this plane right here. What's a Shift D? Duplicate it out. Rotate this by 90. Scale it down. And then press G, bring it back, and then bring it up. So this is the back wall of our creation. So at this point we want to make some taps, some mirrors, So it's 3.5 the distance between all of them. So what we can do is we can actually, let's see, I'm just trying to look at the notes that I've got on here. Let's go with a cylinder. Press G, bring it up. Scale it down. I'm just going to scale this across because these are quite unique taps that we're using. Shade smooth. And what you want to do is just elongate it just slightly. So this part right here is actually going to be cut off by the wall. We're going to bury it halfway through the wall. So the next part that we want to do is go ahead and add a cylinder to your creation. Rotate it sideways, so we want to go 90. And from here I'm just going to bring it up so you can see what's going on. Edit mode. Take this part right here. So we want to make a little bit of a tap on the end of it. So we're just going to go E for extrude. We can go scale this inwards a little bit. E for extrude, scale inwards. So you've got this nice little bevel coming off the edge. And then we can go E for extrude again. Just to here. And then we can go with the... Let me see. What can we go with? Maybe we could go with circle. Just come down here to the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off my screencasting keys so you guys can see. So you got vertices 32. If we put this as vertices 6, just on the side there, and then we can work with this. So I'm just going to turn back on the screencasting keys. Press G, bring it up. We're going to rotate this by 90 degrees. Press G. And then bring it to the front of your creation right here. Go to edit mode. Press F. You're going to go E for extrude. And then E for extrude again. We'll scale this inwards just slightly. E for extrude. Scale inwards. And then from this point on we're going to go E for extrude. So it's all the way in. E for extrude again. Scale inwards. E for extrude again. Scale inwards. And then we're going to go with the outside right here. So basically what it is, we're going to do a different colour for each tap. So this one, if we shade this smooth, we can edit this in a moment. Or maybe we could just scale this down just slightly. G, just place it to the end right there. So this tap right here, we want a blue one and we want a red one. Because I come from the United Kingdom and that's how our taps are. We do have dual taps, but for this particular piece we're going to make the traditional red and blue. So just select around the outside right here. And you want to go to the materials tab, go to new, go to red, assign. So now if we go onto here, oops, that's not what I wanted. So the original material should be there. If you press plus, then assign, then new, and then we can change this down to red. So the original material we could actually have as maybe kind of a almost dark, kind of metallic colour. Just take down the roughness a little bit, and then you can take this dark metallic colour right here. You can put this as tap. You have these little rustic taps. This one right here, we can do go onto the materials tab, select tab, tap even. So if you take these two, just shift and click them both and then duplicate. Take this one, and where you've got the red right here, we go into edit mode. So this one is selected now. We can press plus, new, assign, and then this one will be the blue one. So now we have two taps with different tones to them. So this part right in the middle, that's a little bit too small for my liking. Just going to bring this over. So this will be the main tap itself. So if you press 7, you can see how straight these are. I'm just going to elongate that just slightly, bring it to the back. And then we can change this to the tap as well. So if we now take all 5 objects without clicking the background, we can shrink these down and we can press G, bring these to the back and place them over the top of each tap. Now this might be a little bit fiddly for your first time of doing this, so scale them down. You just want to sit them just over the top right there. If you press 1 on the number pad, you can see straight ahead. You just want them there. Now you notice that these bowls are actually floating as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and press G and bring this up so that everything is flush. No pun intended. Right, so once we've got these taps in order, select everything that you've just made, and then we're going to go Shift D, and it should be 3.5, and it should sit right over the tap of the other one. If it doesn't, make the adjustments where you need it. So we go Shift D and then type in 3.5 on the number pad, and the tap should be in the exact same place. So what we need now is we need a mirror. So I'm going to go with cylinder again. Now you can do mirrors in two ways. You can make an entire mirror on its own, but it won't be perfectly straight, or you can make a cylinder backdrop and then put a mirror into the cylinder. So what we'll do, we'll make the backdrop first and then we'll put the mirror into the cylinder. So what you want to do, just let's go with G, just making objects like this, elongated on one side, a little bit thinner in the middle. We will go with edit mode. Take this face, we'll go E, scale inwards, and then we're going to go E and then drop it down, and then maybe scale inwards just slightly. And then what we want to do is we want to take a circle. Now you might need to readjust the circle a little bit, because you remember last time that we had we changed the vertices on this circle, so you're going to have to improve the circle a little bit. So 60 to 61 is pretty good. Press G, bring it up, and then you just want to make this roughly the same size as your frame. And we want to go into edit mode, and we're just going to press F for fill. Object mode again. Scale it downwards. We're going to go to new material, and this will be mirror. So on this one we can make this metallic, take down the roughness, so we should have something like this. And now we can see that we do have this mirror appearing just here, because we can see the wall. The outer frame, if you take this one, shade smooth, and you could put the same texture as tap for the moment if you wanted to, or you can make a new texture. You can press new. We can make this kind of a gold if you wanted to. Make it metallic. Take down the roughness. Once we've done that, let's go back to regular mode. Select them both. Rotate 90, and then you want to rotate by 90, and then if you turn it around, you want to rotate by 180. Press G, bring it over. So with these, you can put these straight up over the top. So if we press G, put this over the first sink, and we press 1, should be able to just get this in the right position, just right there. And if we Shift D, duplicate it, 3.5, and then we can go ahead and Shift D, duplicate again, and we can go 3.5. Now I can't see this this edit under here for some reason. Ah, they're all behind, that's what's up. Right, okay, so if we select all these ones again. That was my bad. Take off the X-ray mode. And then we just bring these forward. Press G. So now, in theory, we should have 3 mirrors, 3 sinks. And for some reason we don't have any mirror in that one. Why don't we have? Oh, okay. It didn't pick it up properly. Right, so just take these two. Sorry, I'm having a moment. And just place them where they need to be. So now we should have 3 mirrors, 3 sinks. Just right there. And a little bit of underlighting. So, as regards to the floor, we are going to do some little carpets, I think, and we'll do some woodwork on the floor as well. For the walls, we'll do some bricks. So, if we go to the shading tab, just place that right there, and we click new. We take these two and we go to add, and we go to brick. So brick texture, colour to base colour. We now get the brick coming through. The bricks are a little bit wide, so I'm just going to put that down just a little bit. You can just bring those up, bring them down, whatever you need. So, from this point on, just going to go ahead and edit the mortar size actually. So maybe 0.1. Sorry, yeah. Mortar size at 0.01. I think that would look best. Let's go to the bump node. Place a bump in. Add to the height. So now this will pop out of the wall. Let's add a colour ramp. I think I did something wrong here. Okay, so we've got the colour ramp, we've got the wall, we've got this one. I think I might add some noise texture. I think that's what I'm missing. So colour to colour 1. Just improve the noise texture a little bit. There we go. So now we've got some texture upon these tiles. So with the tiles as well, we can actually turn up the metallic. And then we can improve the white as well. So this bias that we have right here, you can turn this up, you can turn this down if you want to, so that they're all uniform. Scale this up, take the roughness down if you want to, or take it up. So now we have this kind of nice textured wall in the back. So if we render it, this is what it will look like. So we're going to put some lighting up here as well. Let's see. So with this one, the floor, we can go new, and we can go add, and we can go brick texture. Colour to base colour. See what this looks like rendered. I'm just going to improve the brick width just a little bit, so these look like floor, less like floor tiles and more like floorboards. Just put that up right there. And then we're going to go to add colour ramp. Right in the middle right here. We'll add a brown to these, and we'll kill that bias actually. We'll take that bias out. Just move this across. And then again we'll go with add a white noise. I think it's noise. Yeah, I'm going to go with noise. On to the first ones. And now we have this kind of beautiful kind of knotting going on. So we're also going to add a bump just in here. So colour to height. So now we can have this just at the bottom, but I don't quite like the way that this is planned out. I think what I might do actually is remove the brick texture, put the noise to the height, and then we'll build individual floorboards on top of this. I think that would look so much better. So with the individual floorboards, we could put like a little bit of gravel underneath. So yeah, let's add a cube, scale this across, scale this down, and then we're just going to scale it down again. Press G, bring it over, just make a little border just before here, and we're going to have some of that gravel underneath. So just place this one here, go to 7, Shift D, and we can move this across. So now we're going to make a little floorboard. So I'm just going to remove that and just place a new texture onto this one. Maybe go with something like that. Shift D, bring it over. And then we're going to go Shift D, and then we'll bring it over on this side. So we take these three, Shift D, duplicate them down, and then G, just bring them across as so. And then we can just take this, and we can repeat the pattern just underneath. This gives us a little bit more to work with. And then in these gaps we can go ahead and just start filling these in. Just at the sides. And you can select multiple if you want to do this with. Shift D. And then just come across. It doesn't matter if it comes off the outside, we can fix it afterwards. So with these ones, where we're going inwards, so we want to go Shift D, just bring it up. We want to actually scale this one down. Just bring that across. So we can be roughly just there. And then take this one, Shift D. Move this one just about here, so it should just match up with the pattern of tiling that we've got. This one, move it up. And then we can take these ones and just place them at the back. Oops, we got a break in the pattern there. We want this one, 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 this one. And just place that one roughly at the back there. So it's got this nice little pattern going on. So I'm just going to place the camera right here. So we're going to go view and then view, align view, active camera to view. Press G, bring it back. So now we should have this lovely scene right here. So now you've got a little bit of light pollution going on right here. This is because this light right here shouldn't exist. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. So this is the light that we're currently working with. we want to add the ceiling, and on the ceiling we're going to add a little bit more lights and a little bit more ambience to the actual room. What I'm going to do, so if we just remove that, I'll just pull this to the side, get rid of these screencasts, oops, get rid of the screencast kind of thing. Right, so at this point we want to go to edit mode, Control R, just going to press G, bring it across, and then I'm going to go Control R again, just to here, and then I'm going to select this face. I'm just going to go G, bring it forward, so we've got a little bit of a wall just at the side here. So it should look something like this. Now from this point on we can do some lighting in the top. So let's get I'm just going to do a regular cube actually. Put a regular cube, bring it across, scale it across, then G, bring it down. Just make sure that it sits over the sinks. And then I'm going to go to edit mode, just take the end face right here, press G, and then just move this across. So now we've got this nice little cabinet going on. So for the lighting itself, I'm going to go with cylinders, scale this down, press G, bring it up, G, bring it across, and then G, just place it where you need it to be. Scale down. Preferably, if you press 1, try and get this light just above all of these stations right here. So just above this one. We'll change this in a moment. So this is the outside of the light emission that we're going to have. So just right click, click shade. Go to edit mode. Take this bottom edge right here. E for extrude, don't move it. Scale it inwards. And then we're going to go E for extrude at the bottom. And we'll go to new material. So this will be the original material. So we want this as silver, metallic. And then we're going to press plus, assign, new. And then this one will be the emission. So principal BSDF, take it to emission. And then we're going to turn this up. So don't forget to click assign. Go to object mode. Press 1, so we've got that side view going on. We're going to go Shift D, and as usual 3.5 to bring this over, Shift D, and then we'll go 3.5 to bring this over again. And now we should have this little lit kind of bit. So that's the side on view, just 1 second, so that you guys can see that, and then I will make this view a little bit bigger. So now we've got this kind of underlighting, overlighting kind of thing going on. To make the strength on these overlights a little bit bigger, we're just going to go ahead and just turn up the strength right here. Now with these ones, we could actually have these as kind of a yellowy orange, kind of offset the room a little bit. So now we've got some nice lighting, some nice bowls. So these bowls, actually, I want them porcelain. So I'm just going to make this, let's go porcelain. Make them slightly metallic. And then take the roughness down, so that they kind of glow a little bit. And then take this bowl at the side, go down to porcelain in the drop down menu. Make that the same material, and this third one, we'll make this the same material as well. So let's see, porcelain. So now we have this, the render's not gone all the way through, but now we have this nice little bathroom kind of scene going on. So, what we could do from here is we could put some little shelving units just here. We could also put a little shower block kind of thing right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the shower block part just at the back. Just turn off these from render at the moment. So take this right here, edit mode, and you want to take this wall right here. We're going to go we're going to go E for extrude, bring it to the back, and then I'm going to take this and just press G and just bring it forward just slightly. So for the shower itself, we could do, let me see. Let's put in a cube, scale it outwards, scale it down, press G, bring it over, scale it down again. Just get it so that it's in the corner. We're going to go edit mode, take the top here, E for extrude, scale it inwards, and then E for extrude, and then just pull it down, and then scale it inwards just slightly. For the sides of this, we're going to go with add cube, scale this up, scale it down, and then press G, bring it over. Just bring it up. And then we can duplicate this in multiple ways. So if we just do elongate this, we've not got a ceiling yet, so it doesn't really matter where it's going to sit. I'm just going to go new material, just change this to black, and maybe make it slightly metallic. Shift D, and then Shift D into the opposite corners as well. So we want to do frosted glass from the bottom and then clear glass at the top kind of thing. Or maybe frosted in the middle and clear. So what we're going to do, go to mesh, plane, rotate this 90, scale it upwards, press G, and then we're going to place this just inside of the panes where the shower is. So, you know, I'm going to actually rotate this by 90 on this side as well. Press G, bring it over, scale it out just slightly, and then sit it where you need it to be. Make sure that it's touching the frame on either side. So with this, we need to go to edit mode. We're going to go to Control R. Oops. Realise you can't see that. Control R. Roll it just once or twice with your scroll wheel. Take this part right here. We're going to go new, and we'll go with glass. So if we put this onto render right here, we can now see the original is just plain glass. If we press plus, assign, and new, the material now changes. So now we have a different material right here. So I'm going to change it from Principal BSDF to glass. And then I'm just going to put the roughness up, go to the original material, the first one that you made, and take the roughness down. So now you should end up with this kind of shower thing, but I don't like this original material because this should be clear glass. But there's no reflection. I like working with Principal BSDF. So if we change this one to Principal BSDF, turn up the metallic all the way, and then we're going to go ahead and just pull the alpha down. As such. So now we've got this little reflection going on, we've got this glass. What we want to do is take this pole right here, place it at the bottom and place it at the top. So we come off the render mode, Shift D, rotate this by 90, scale inwards, press G, bring it down, and then we're going to go press Shift D, and then we just can bring it up. So it kind of blocks off the shower bit just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add a plane for the ceiling just above. So it just sits just there. So now what we should have is this kind of outlook on a bathroom, which they are pretty big tiles, I will admit. I don't know, I guess it could be kind of a sauna kind of thing as well. We could put a sauna in the back there if you wanted to. Since it's a public kind of bathroom, we could kind of add another shower on this side, maybe. A couple of more cubicles, like a little washroom kind of thing. Maybe a bit of a doorway just here leading off to somewhere else. That could look pretty cool. Maybe some benches. Maybe that's what we're missing. We're missing benches. Put another wall here. Some benches. A couple of other showers just coming out at the back. We also need a shower head just coming in here. So, if we go back to the regular render kind of thing, we can go with go with a cylinder actually. Let's go with this cylinder. Let's press G, bring it over. Scale it in. You can kind of make a little pipe going up. Just make sure that that's at the back of your creation. Doesn't come out of the back, should I say. And then we could go ahead and make this black. And then we could go ahead and add, say, a cube. For the shower itself. Just elongate this, scale it down. Maybe it's one of those showers where you could only press it for a couple of seconds before it finally goes off. Press the face at the bottom here, E for extrude, scale it, and then E for extrude again. We could scale that in, and then E for extrude for the button. And we could take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces, I think. We could go new, plus, assign, new, and then change this to black. And then right click, shade smooth. Actually, we could change this to red. Change this to red. Kind of a red maroon type colour. Okay, so now that we've got that, we need to make the kind of shower head, or maybe we could do something from the ceiling. So we could do the pipe going up and all the electrics, and then we could have this kind of shower head coming down. So if we take this pipe, just shade it there, balloon it, scale it down, G, make sure that it's in the middle, roughly. And we could do edit. Take the end part here, E for extrude, scale outwards, E for extrude, scale outwards, E for extrude, and then scale outwards. Maybe that's a bit too big for a shower head, but we could pull that in a bit. And then E for extrude, scale inwards, E for extrude, and then scale inwards again. And then we can press G, just bring it up just slightly, and then scale inwards. And we can take all of this that we've just made. Let's see, select all of that, press plus, new, assign, and we're going to go with a shiny silver. So turn up your metallic, turn down your roughness a little bit. So now we have the shower head shade smooth. So now we've got a full shower right there. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this wall just onto the side right here. because I'm going to take this wall. Let's go to edit mode. Press G, and we're just going to bring this back to this point. I'm going to take every single object that I've just made. I'm going to duplicate it across apart from these. So when we go to object mode, we'll take this one, we'll take this one, we'll take this one. We'll take the base, we'll take this, and this. Let me think. So you know what I actually think? Let's miss out these ones. So we'll take this one, we'll take this one, we'll take this one, we'll take the base, we'll take the shower, we'll take all of these attachments, we'll go Shift D and bring it across. So now that's a separate cubicle, and we can go Shift D again and we can bring this one across. So now this one's cut halfway through a wall, so what we want to do, click this wall, go to edit mode, press G, bring it back. So we now have a hole in the floor. I'm going to go to object mode, take this one, this one, this one, and this one. Shift D, bring it across, and we're just going to place it right here. And then make the bathroom ceiling a little bit longer. A little bit out right there. And we said something about benches, and we also said something about having a little doorway right here. So if we select this wall right at the back, we can go to edit mode. We can Shift R, go here, place a loop cut just right here at the floor, and then we can place another one right here and another one right here. And so at this part we can take this little face right here and we can go E for extrude and just extrude this outwards. So we can actually do showers on the opposite side as well. We can go from object mode, let's select everything that we have right here. So all of the little attachments, all of the little barrier pieces just at the back. You can go box select if you want to, and then deselect things. So let's deselect that, let's deselect that. By deselecting, it's just double click on whatever it is that you didn't want. So let's Shift D, rotate this by 180. So now we've got some nice little shower cubicles at the side right here. We can take this wall and we can start wrapping it around this side. So if we go to edit mode, take this face right here, just all the faces on this side. We can go G, bring it over. Go E for extrude across the side. Just mind out where your camera is. So this flooring that we've got right here, we can actually look at this from underneath, as well as on top. We can go to object mode again. And all you want to do is just continue the flooring from where you started off. So just take these three, Shift D, move it across, and then place it just there. So this background right here, the original flooring, just scale it up just slightly, and then just bring it across. So now we kind of have this nice little bathroom going on, little shower room, if it ever loads in. You'll notice that the lighting's a little bit bad at the back. We can fix that afterwards, and give this little bit of a corridor some light as well. Oh goodness. So the lighting. We can take these little lights that we had right here, and we can go Shift D duplicate them over, and we can actually place them in the ceiling. So let's see what that one looks like. So I'm actually going to take these ceiling lights. I'm going to do a little bit of an edit. So let's change the emission. So let's press plus. We'll go assign again because it's already selected. We'll go new, and then we'll change this to emission. I'm going to change it to a different emission because I'd like to mess around with the lighting outside of the sink so it's not all uniform. So we can actually take this and we can make this a little bit brighter. We can go Shift D. Just move it across, so maybe we can put this at 5. And then we can go Shift D, put this one at 5. And then we can go Shift D again. Oops. So Shift D, move it down, we can go 20. Sorry, let's go -20. Shift D, let's go 5 again, just to even that out. I think we've got one just at the back here somewhere. But I just go into regular mode. Yeah, we do. Okay, so with this one we go -5. And then we can go -5. And then maybe we could do some underlighting for the showers and stuff like that, so we could actually improve that. So we could go Shift D, and then we're going to go -5. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this in just to the end, so that when we've got the lighting in here, we should now, in theory, have enough lighting to be able to light all these cubicles as well. So you just pull the light a little bit. You could also take all of these and we could put them to this side as well, so you've got 2 runs of lights. Let's see. So let's go on regular mode for one moment. Just select all of these lights. Just double click anything that's that you don't want. Oh, come on. It's not playing ball. Right, I just double click that roof off. Let's go Shift D. And we can just move them across onto this side. And then we could go Shift D again, move them across onto this side. But for the ones that are in front of the sink, we could get rid of these. So I'm just going to go ahead, just remove those actually to just about there, I think. Maybe just about there. So let's get rid of these ones that are in front of the sink. Delete. That one's halfway through a shower block. We don't want that. These 2 are kind of halfway through shower blocks as well. So I'm going to press Control Z, undo what I did. Take these 3 lights and just press G, bring them into the middle. And then I'm going to get rid of this light at the end. So what we should have now is something like this. When it loads in. I'm just going to move that back wall back a little bit as well, I think. And then maybe we could do some benches as well. Maybe somewhere to store some stuff. Little sports benches, I guess you would call them. And then we need the lights. We need some lighting in here as well. So I'm just going to take one of these lights. Just Shift D, move it across. And then just place it into this false corridor that you made right here. G, bring it down. And I'm going to actually put 2 of these in here. So to give it a bit more light. So when we're done with that, we should have something like this. There's somewhere else that people can walk, people can go. Quite a clean place. So I'm going to go ahead and take this wall right here. We're going to go to edit. And I'm just going to go ahead and move this wall back just slightly. I just don't like the positioning of this one. So I'm just going to go roughly there. Object mode. And then what we should have is this. So now the flooring's a little bit incomplete around the sides. So this needs to be expanded a little bit. Just outwards. So now we've got a bit more of a floor. I would say some more benches in here as well. Let's make the benches. So to make your benches, I'm actually going to take a floorboard. Press Shift D. What we can do, scale this down. Oops, don't do that. Shift D, duplicate. Shift D, duplicate. Just to put it into perspective there. I'm going to add these with a new material. So I'm just going to go edit. Now we're going to go edit mode, new material. This will be bench. And we'll just make this colour a little bit darker. Add the metallic up just a little bit. And then go to object mode, take this one, go down to the drop down, change it to bench. Go to this one, go down to the drop down, change it to bench. And then this third one, go down to the drop down, change it to bench. Oops, this one, that one. Yeah, okay, so now that we have the little bench going on, I'm just going to Shift D, duplicate this one. Scale it down. Oops, scale it down on this side. Scale it across on this side, and we're just going to scale it up so it's kind of a block. Press G, bring it across, and then we're going to bring it to here. And then we'll scale it up a little bit. And then we'll press, we'll just leave a little bit of overhang. Shift D, bring it across, and then select all of these items that we've just created. Bring this into the scene. We can make this a little bit bigger actually for a bench, and then just go ahead, just move this over to where it needs to be, just there. Okay, so let's go to edit right here, just take these faces up on the side. Oops, not that one. So just all these faces right here. We'll press G, we'll bring it in. I don't know where my camera is. Can that even see? Just about. It can just about see. Bring this one in as well. And we can go E for extrude and then just kind of close it in a little bit just before the camera. So the camera can see in. But the room's sealed off from any external lighting that could appear. So I'm just going to go ahead and just alter the camera a little bit. Just press G, bring it forward. Let's go with G right here, and I'm just going to go rotate around just slightly, and then I'll adjust the walls as needed. Maybe we could just go there, and then let's see, just move that back a little bit, and then this wall right here, just move it out of the way of the camera. So select the wall, the faces that you need on the outside, and just bring this back so that it just curves around the camera. just as so. So now what we should have, if we go back to object mode, is a nice little posh bathroom for a swimming pool. Yeah, I think that's really it for the editing today. Oh, I missed a sink. Look at this, look. And then we have this one sink that's not porcelain. Oh, glad I noticed that. Let's change this to porcelain. Yes. Tisk. Right, so yeah, that's our kind of swimming pool bathroom tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, or you know, follow me, depending on where you're viewing this. Yeah, and give us a share. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're doing something a little bit more unique. We're going to make a table, but it's going to have weird kind of legs to it, like kind of stick legs. I'm going to show you what I mean. So we're going to go with add, and then we're going to go with, we'll go with cylinder, sorry, wrong one. Let's go with cylinder. Bring this down. And then we're just going to bring this across, and then just scale it outwards just a little bit. And then we're going to go G, bring it up. Scale it down just a little bit more. Shade smooth. I'm just going to actually scale it out just slightly, so it's just about there. So come to the materials tab. We want to go to Principled BSDF. We're going to change that to glass. If you haven't already, come to your render tab. When my computer lets me. Oh, come on, it's a small item. Yeah. Right, here we go. So, your render engine, let's change this to cycles. Let's go with add, and we'll go with circle. Now what you want to do, just put this in X-ray, press G, bring this up. Just make sure that it touches the bottom of the table. Just scale it down a little bit. Maybe we go G, just about there, I think that should be okay. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if it's inside of the table, because these legs are kind of going to come out anyway, but you want to get it as close to the base of the table as you possibly can. So I'm just going to take the X-ray mode off just for one moment. So just come down just to here, I would say. Right, so once we've got this, turn your X-ray back on, and we're going to duplicate these circles all over the table. It doesn't matter where they go, they can go into some random place. And then what we're going to do is take these circles and we're going to make legs. So if we have this one circle right here, we go to edit mode, press F for fill. I'm going to go E for extrude, and I'm going to put it at a really odd angle. It's going to be one of those really funky tables. And then we're going to go E for extrude again. Maybe it can go straight down, maybe it's got a little point to it. We're going to make this artsy. So what I would suggest as well, before we start kind of putting this through, maybe add a plane. Scale this out, just select everything, because this is going to be a coffee table. Just bring it down to a coffee table level, and your legs should just come around and hit the bottom of the coffee table right here. So if we go to edit mode, select this part right here. We go to edit mode, take this bottom face, just bring it up, scale it down, E for extrude, make it weird. Kind of thing. We could rotoscope just this. Press G, bring it forward. Take this. Press G. Take it in just there as well. So it's kind of got this weird kind of thing going on. We could scale this down. And then we could come to the second leg. Oh my gosh. Object mode. Come to the next sphere right here. We could go edit mode, F for fill, E for extrude. We could go scale down, E for extrude. And we could press G and just make this funky. Press 1, you can see where the lines are at. Scale this down a little bit. We notice that we just go past the lines just here. So press G and maybe just go just past the lines like this one has. Object mode again. And then we can just do the same with these legs as well. And you could probably take these and duplicate them all around. So let's go into the second one. We'll go F, E for extrude, scale down, G, move it backwards, E for extrude, scale it out a little bit maybe, and then G, kind of make it really funky and really weird kind of looking, and then E, and we can just go down. Let's go 1, and we can place that one there. So the second one, let's go to object mode. We've got another leg right here. We could go E for extrude. Oh, sorry. Let's go into edit mode. F, E for extrude. You could kind of scale it like this, and then E for extrude, and have like some weird kind of pattern going on with that one leg. Go for your next one. Then E for extrude. Oh, sorry. Edit mode. F. E for extrude. Put G to the side or something. E for extrude. It's just kind of a funky, weird table kind of thing going on. You can actually take the G to the side. Edit mode. F for fill, E for extrude. It's got G and then E. Maybe like scale it in, maybe do the same pattern as the other side. So it looks really weird, but I think it's a really good way of doing your vertices in a way. Also, it's kind of a weird artistic thing. So I'm just going to take all these legs. I'm just going to go Shift D. We'll rotate this by 180. And the legs shouldn't be in the same place. If they are in the same place, just move them. So now we have this weird kind of artistic table going on. We'll just scale this out. So this is made of glass. So we should be able to see through the top here. If we select this, go to the materials tab, take down your roughness. And now we've got this weird kind of artistic table that you'd only see in a weird gallery. You know? I'm just having some fun today. I've kind of run out of ideas. Let's make this one black. Make the... It's the only problem when you make a tutorial a day, you kind of go, what can I do? And you go to Pinterest and you find weird things and you kind of just try them out and they look even weirder when you do them. So, this could be kind of a conversation piece in somebody's front room, I guess. Okay, there we go. A very strange table. Let's go with, let's add some different coloured lights in here. So maybe we go for a purple at the back, maybe a red up here at the front, and maybe a blue just on that side. So yeah. The iOS, actually, I want to edit this. Sorry, the IOR, even. Just to pull that down a bit. So, yeah. There we go. Strange tables. I'm just going to add some tube lights across the top just to give it some depth. Cylinder. Press J, bring it up. 90. Scale this down. Scale this across. And then I'm going to add an emission. Yeah, it's weird. I sit here and I go like, scale it up, you know, S for scale and 7 for view above and stuff like that. I guarantee if I'm ever sat in a classroom and I'm just like working by myself, I'll be sat there going like, yeah, S for scale, blah, blah, blah. And people will be looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just so used to doing this on Blender. It's another world where you're teaching people. It really is, because you just have this thing in the back of your mind where you have to say certain things to get people to really take on board what you're trying to say. Oh, so I don't want to do that. Yeah, let's split that. Okay, so we should have some sort of reflection up on the top here. I've not got any reflection. I'm just going to go ahead and make a few of these just to make some sort of reflection depth in there. Oops, we've not done one of the legs. There we go. Oh no, we didn't. Two of them. There's two of them we've not done. I think it's that one. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Strange little coffee table for you for the day. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you in the next one. Please like, subscribe, and as always, bye bye. Okay guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're doing game items. So we're going to go ahead and delete the default cube. And I'm going to go ahead and start with, let's go with a cylinder. So we're making a coin today. I'm just going to scale this out so you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to pull this in now. The resize as well. If I just remove the screencast keys just for 1 second, I think I can still get to this menu. No, 1 second. Let me just get rid of this. Let's go to add and then cylinder. I'm going to move the vertices up a little bit. So we've got that nice little smooth outside ring on the coin itself. So we're just going to shade this down, even scale this down. Edit mode. We'll take the top face right here, and then we're going to take the bottom face right here. We're going to go E-fret extrude, and just leave it where it is. So what we're going to do with this, we need to amend both sides at the same time. So we're going to go scale, and then we're going to go scale again, but scale inwards. So scale against one of the axes, and then scale inwards. E-fret extrude again, leave it where it is. And then we'll scale inwards again. And then we're going to go E-fret extrude again. And then we want to scale inwards again. So if I put the X-ray on just there so you guys can see. So we're just going to go ahead and scale inwards just here. And then we will shape this in just slightly. So this item right here. Let's see what we can do with this. So we're going to go to the object mode. You want to shade this somewhat smooth. We've just gone to the render mode right here. We can go to, instead of Eevee, go to cycles. We're going to go into the materials tab. We'll go new material. This will be gold. Go ahead and make this slightly orange, orangey yellow. Make this metallic, just by slight. And then we're going to take the roughness down. Now we might amend this afterwards, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a text. So just come up to here and then just select text. So when editing text, we're going to come to object mode right here. Go to edit mode. Just delete this and we're going to type coin. So this will be a little coin for your game or whatever you'd like. You can put a dollar sign on there if you wanted to, or you can put pound on there, whatever you need. I'm just going to put coin for mine. Scale it in just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to come over to the this tab right here, which is the data tab. Let's go to geometry, and you want to extrude this just slightly so that it comes through the side of the coin. Make sure that it doesn't come through the back side of the coin. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your extrude is just a little short of that back, because what we're going to do is put this on the back once we're done. So press G, bring it up, and just place it just above here so we can see that little bevel going on. Let's go to material, go to your drop down and select gold. So now these two materials will be the same. So I'm actually going to flip this on its side. So let's go rotate even and 90 degrees. Press G, we can bring this up. So the lighting is actually in the incorrect place, but I can go ahead and just make a secondary light right here. One here so we can see what's going on with this. Okay, so when you've got the coin as is, you've got a blank side on this side. So what you want to do, take this, Shift D, we'll just pull it out at the back there, rotate by 180, and then we're going to go ahead and just stick this back onto the coin itself. Just here, just make sure that it doesn't go through the opposite side and interrupt this one. So, want to make this a little bit more shiny, we can turn the roughness down as well. I'm just going to go ahead and add a plane in, because everything that I do that's shiny kind of looks a lot better when there's a plane in here. So what you can do with this as well, we can have some bump nodes put in here as well. If you want to go ahead and do that, it's just a shading tab. You got your little coin right here. So this will be the gold material that we've just put on. But if we want to add some shading to this, we can. We can do this in one of two ways. We can affect the roughness, or we can affect the colour itself. So if we go to noise texture, we can go colour to roughness. And now we kind of get this little noise kind of going on, like this kind of dirt kind of look to the coin as well. We can also add a colour ramp to this. So we can make this a little bit deeper as well. Give it a little bit of rust, give it a little bit of dirt. Yeah, it's like it's been passed from character to character, and it's become a little bit weird in a way. We can also go to base colour and we can make that a little bit more rustic, so we can go ahead and add a noise texture. Oops, I'm just going to move this to here. Let's move that out a little bit. And another noise texture, colour to colour base. Now you'll notice with this noise texture that it becomes like this. So what we want to do is, I'm just going to scale this noise texture up a little bit. So we've got that nice little grain coming through. And we've got the dirt still on the outside of the coin. We're going to add a colour ramp just in the middle right here. And now what we're going to have to do is put the colour back in. So we're going to go for that nice little gold that we had prior. We can add some extra little tones in here if you wanted some red, or you wanted a little bit of blue to make it look like it had oxidized a little bit. You can do that. So Once you've got that, you can also do a bump. So you want to move the noise texture just to the side right there and add bump into the middle. And you want to go colour to height. Oops, not distance, sorry, height. And now you've got this nice little kind of rustic, kind of messed up coin that's got some grease on it. And you've also got some bumps on it. Now if you wanted to scale this outwards a little bit, you can do. You can also scale it inwards a little bit so that it's one kind of thing, so it looks like it's been roughly cut. You can also extrude this text a little bit if you wanted to, so go back to your A right here for your data, your geometry, let's pull this out just a little bit more. So we've gone 0.6, just make sure it doesn't connect with the opposite side, and then we can take this side and we can put this one to 0.6 as well. Let me see, yeah. And that would be your coin. If we just put it on the render tab. I'm only going to keep it on the render tab for a while. It's like, it's super sunny outside and my computer is currently acting like a space heater. It's just like, oh my gosh. It's crazy. So the problem with English houses is like they're great at keeping in heat. Like, and when it comes to summer, it's just like, oh my gosh. Many of our houses were made when it was quite quite cold in winter, and nowadays we've got a lot of heat. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit with the black. Yeah, my house was like made just after World War II, and it's just so insulated. It's unreal. The more modern houses, they're built like American houses where they've got drywall in between and not brick. Yeah, but these ones are like solid. They're just so hot. We don't have aircon here either. We just have central heating. So, yeah. I'm just going to make this a little bit more orange. Just to make it look a little bit more coin-like. But you guys can make these coins any way that you want. I'm just showing you. This is how you can make some of them right here. I don't think that's yellow enough. I think it's just too much. Let's take this up and then make it a bit more orange. I think that would be okay. Yeah, so that's a basic gaming coin. I'll see what I can do in the next one. I'm kind of like looking at different ideas and looking into doing stuff, and I'm also contacting a few gaming companies and saying like, hey, do you mind me recreating some of your items from your games, like basically just to show people how to make them. I haven't had any replies yet, so yeah, there's that. But I'll see what I can do as regards to fan art, because I'm sure that like there's maybe a small loophole that I could look into. I don't know. I don't want to do anything without companies giving me permission, but if they do have a fan art page, it's kind of different. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe. Bye bye. Hi guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. My gosh, that sun is blaring behind me. I got so much lens flare. Today we're doing a little bit on game design. So we're going to go ahead and just delete the default cube because we don't need that. I'm going to be making specialty items such as orbs. So you, if you ever play games and stuff like that, I'm guessing you're an avid gamer because you're here. They have orbs in some games that you run around and collect, and they glow. So we're going to make a glowing orb today. So you want an icosphere. And we're just going to pull this up a little bit, and it's super simple, just to make things glow in Blender, really. Sorry, I should have the screencasting keys on. Yeah. So, I do a lot of projects between all of the tutorials, so I just turn them off naturally, and then I just forget. So, this is the icosphere, so we can go to add mesh, and then we've got the icosphere right here. So to make items glow within a game setting, obviously I'm working on cycles at the moment. For some reason, these future versions, they don't have the game engine anymore for some reason. So we're gonna just go to new. I'm just gonna show you how to make them because I do have, I think I did have Unity at one point, but I don't have Unity anymore. I think it's another program that I have for game design mostly. But I'm doing this on Blender for the people that don't have computers that can render as high. So, well, it's not computers that can render as high, but it's like open source. So, you guys don't spend anything. So with glowing spheres, you want to put, I'm just going to put a plane so you guys can see what we're doing right here. And we're just going to go into render mode. So you notice now that the actual icosphere itself is glowing. Let's go here. So if we were on Principal BSDF, which was the original one that we were on, you notice that it doesn't glow. You go to emission and we've got the glow. So you can change the glow on this to any colour that you want. I'm just going to move this down to the bottom and remove the light from the scene so you guys can see this a little better. So now we can see, changing those settings, we've got this glow going on just at the bottom here. And you can increase this glow if you want to, decrease this glow. So yeah, this is kind of like the little specialty items, the extra points that you pick up in the corners and stuff like that. So what you can actually do for this particular project is you could take this icosphere, you could scale it down a little bit, and then you could shift D to duplicate it, just press G, move this up a little bit, and then we could take these two and we could shift D, just rotate these round a little bit, take these ones as well, just move them around the thing, and we can make kind of like an orb group that just kind of floats in one place. Let's see, so just rotate these ones around. So now we kind of have these floating glowing orbs. So yeah, that's it, the orb tutorial. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're going to be making a chandelier. So this one is going to be a little bit fiddly, but hopefully you should be able to make something at the end of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete my default cube, and we're going to screencast keys. Okay, so to begin this chandelier, we're going to be doing, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiers to this chandelier. So it's not a, oh sorry, 8. I think it's 8 tiers. It's not a traditional chandelier, but it's one of these modern kind of chandeliers where it's got the little crystals dangling down. So what we're going to do, there's 2 stages to this, really. So what we're going to have is I'll just mark this out for you so you guys can see what's going on. We're going to go with mesh, and I'm just going to place in a circle, and then I'm going to go with Shift D. And then I'm just going to scale out the second circle, if I can ever. There we go. Right, okay, so when we do the chandelier, we're going to have the first tier that's going to be in the middle, and then we're going to have the second tier, which is going to be on the outside, and each tier is going to progressively get smaller as we get to the bottom. We will have a set amount of crystals at the top, we'll have a set amount of crystals in the middle, and then set amount of crystals at the bottom in correspondence to their size and where they need to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete these 2 so we don't get confused with those 2, but that's basically what every tier is going to look like. It's going to have its own little ring. So what I'm going to start with Oh my gosh. What I'm going to start with, I think, we'll do the inner ring lighting to begin with, and then we'll do the outer ring crystals. So the inner ring lighting is pretty, so we're going to do with the circle. Let's start with the circle, actually. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to go G, bring it up. We'll use circles actually for a template, but then we'll delete them afterwards. So let's go with the first here. So we've got this one right here. We're going to go with icosphere. Bring this up into the center, and we'll just scale this down just a little bit. So what you want to do, if we press 7, just for the top view, we'll take this icosphere right here. So every single icosphere that we have is going to be the exact same emission. So come down to your principal BSDF. Make sure you're on cycles as well. If you're on the render tab right here, just go to cycles. We'll come back to material. So principal BSDF, we want to go to the emission. We want to just scale these down just a little bit. And then I'm just going to press G and bring them across. And now what we want to do as well, we want to go Shift D and just bring them to the opposite side. So the top point of the icosphere is sat just on the circle right here. And this one, I'm a little bit off, so I'm just going to amend that. It's just sat right there on top of the circle. So this just makes sure that we've got relatively the same amount of distance from one circle to the other. We're going to need this. So we're going to want to put these two icospheres, one here and one here. So what we're going to do, select both icospheres. We're going to go with Shift D, leave it where it is, and we're just going to press R for rotate, and we're just going to press 90 on the number pad. And this will give us a 90-degree angle. So when we do the 90-degree angle, we want to divide that by 2, which is 45. So we're just going to go ahead and select all of the icospheres right here. Shift D, don't move it. R for rotate, and then type in 45. Enter that one in. And then we want to divide this further by 2. So we're going to go to 22.5. So select all of your icospheres again. We're going to go Shift D, leave it where it is, R for rotate, and then type in 22.5. So now we've got these nice little lights that are coming around the edge. And if we go on to the render kind of mode, you can see that these light up a little bit. So leave these as they are. So we'll notice we've now got a nice little circle of icospheres, and we now no longer need our little our base, I guess you want to call it that, a little sketch for a circle. So when we do these tiers, we also want a little bar between all of these. So I'm just going to go ahead and add another circle. I was using that as a bit of a tracer, just so that we could see where the circle was going to sit. To be honest with you, if you press C and bring that one back, we could just press G and place it back in. So when we do this, we're going to go with edit mode, press F for fill, E for extrude, and what you want to do, get rid of this face right here in the bottom face. So go into faces, this face right here, the bottom face, just press delete, faces, and then we're going to press A, and then E for extrude, keep it where it is, and then we're just going to scale it inwards. So now we've got this nice little bar that's holding these lights in place. And you can amend this if you want to. You can change the shape of it if you'd like. I'm just going to shade it smooth, so it's a nice little bar. So with this chandelier, we want to take it's multiple bars. So hold on, let me think. I've got a little sketch here that I did. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 of these. So we want to make them in tiers. So let's take, select everything, apart from your lamp. You can delete your lamp if you want to. I'm just going to go 1, so we've got a side view so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. So we're going to go G, just bring this one up. This will be the top of the chandelier. I'm just going to scale this out just slightly. Shift D, we go to the second tier of the chandelier, and we're just going to scale this in just ever so slightly. And then we go third. Let's stay with the grid actually. So this first one, sorry, I just put this one up to the top right here. Shift D, bring this down to 2 blocks down. Scale it in. And then we'll do Shift D to this side. We'll scale this part in. And then we'll do Shift D again. 2 down. Scale in. I think I said 7 or 8 tiers, I think it was. So we've got 4 there. Shift D. We'll go again. Second. You might go past your red line here, but that's fine. We can bring everything up if that's the case. And then we can just make this a little bit smaller. So the chandelier is actually more brightly lit at the top than it is at the bottom. So don't worry about your lighting. Yeah, we need one more. So, excuse me, this bottom one's quite small. So we just select all these and just press G, just bring it up to about here. That should be fine. So now we've got the inner ring of our chandelier. So the outer ring of our chandelier, if we take all of these little rings that are on the inside, and hopefully this should work. Otherwise I'm going to try a different method. But just take all of your rings. We'll experiment with this. Shift D, don't move it, and then scale it outwards just slightly. So this would be the second tier. You notice that they're not quite scaled where we need them to be. So just scale them back along the axes as best you can. If you can't see where you're going, you can press 1. And we can just scale these back just ever so slightly. Just to there. So this will be now our basis for the crystals to dangle off the sides. So to do the crystals off the sides, you can do these via tiers if you wanted to. You can take these out individually and then put the stuff around, or you can put these in whilst you're doing it. So the crystals themselves, we'll start with, let's start with a cube. Press G, just bring it over to the side right here. And I'm just going to elongate it. So you want this crystal to fit those 2 little notches that we left out between all of the tiers. So we're going to do edit mode. Take the front here. We're going to go E for extrude and just scale it in just at the side here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pull the side in. So this needs to be glass. So we're going to go object mode. Keep it as it is. Don't shade it. And we'll go to new material, and this will be the glass in the chandelier. Oops. My neck. Glass in the chandelier right there. We'll go to, you can go to glass emission if you'd like, but I personally like Principal BSDF doing this. So if you want to do Principal BSDF doing this, we can take up the metallic right here, turn down the roughness, and then we can turn down the alpha slightly. Now you might need to mess with this at the end. Alternatively, you can go to glass BSDF and you'll be able to get a kind of glass look to it. Now, depending on which one you want to use is depending on what you'd like to do with this. So before we put the crystals on, actually, I'm going to make a gold material for these rings. So each one of these rings, if we click new, you don't have to click new for every single one of the rings. We can make the material now, and then I can put the material to everything. So if we just put gold, we can go ahead, make this kind of an orangey yellow kind of thing, the metallic up, the roughness down a little bit. So now we've got this nice little gold plating kind of coming around the edge. You can amend these afterwards if they don't look quite right. So yeah, we've got the gold edge right there. So what you want to do is take these inner rings, go down to this drop down box right here, go gold, inner ring. I should have really done this at the beginning, but didn't really think about that.
And timeless piece of jewelry, and they come in a vast array of styles, design.
I don't know if you heard that. My phone responded to me talking there. It's like, gold rings come in a various size and variety. Okay. I didn't say the Google thing, but you know, I won't say it because it'll probably reply. Okay, Google. Yeah. I don't know what triggered that, but apparently the trigger word does work. So half the time Google actually ignores me, which is surprising that this has actually said anything. Right, so once we've got our tiers just like this, we have to add our crystals to this. So if we press 7, we can see all the way down, which is really convenient, except from if we start putting crystals on the inside right here, it might actually distract us a little bit. So depending on how you want to do this, whether you want to start from the bottom tier or you want to start from the top tier, is dependent on how your work is going to look. So for me personally, I may start from the top tier. So what I'm going to do is just scale this down. I'm just going to place this here. I'm going to do a side-on view actually, so you guys can see what's going on. Oh, sorry. So we've got 7 on this side and 1 on this side. So what you want to do with this little glass crystal right here, you want to be able to put it right at the side, scale it down, get it so that it's long enough to cover the tier below. So we're going to go just down here, bring this up a little bit, just have it so that it just comes down to here. So every time that you do this, because this is 2 squares right here, and this one's 2 squares right here, every single tier that you do will cover the bottom tier. So we have this, just making sure that this is straight, roughly just where I need it to be. I'm just looking at the squares right here just to make sure that this is roughly symmetrical, or at least where I need it to be. So with your crystals, you're going to want to do the same thing that you did with your lights. This top tier doesn't have lights. We can add lights to it in the end if that's a thing. Oh, no, it does have lights. What am I looking at? Oh, that's really weird. That down angle is just super weird. Sorry, 7 to heaven. Yeah, this is confusing the heck out of me because I'm seeing a ring with no lights on it, and then there's lights on it. Maybe it's me. Go and do lolly. So, right, we're going to go with Shift D. Bring the secondary one across. We want to, because this is now the wrong way, we want to rotate this one to 180. Press G, bring it in to the circle itself. And then we're going to go with the second one, and what we want to do, Shift D, don't move it, rotate, and then we're going 90 again, so that it goes onto the opposite side. We're going to select all of these, and then we're going to go Shift D. We want to rotate this again, so keep it where it is, rotate, and then we're going to go to 45. Select everything again, and this is going to be for all the tiers. I mean, you could duplicate this all the way down for every single tier if you wanted to, but to be honest with you, the lower the tiers, the smaller the crystals will become. So if you want to keep a consistency, you're going to have to do this for every single tier. Yeah, where were we? Everything selected. Shift D, duplicate. Want to R for rotate, we're going to go 22.5, enter. From 22.5, we're going to divide this by 2, which is 1125. So you want to make sure that everything's selected. So let's go Shift D, leave it where it is, rotate, and we are at 1125, press enter. And we want to go divide again. So we're going to go 5.625. So let's take all of this. Just around the edges. Make sure that you've got everything selected. You don't want a missing piece. Shift D. This should be the last one in theory. Leave it where it is. Rotate, and we're going to put in 5.625 and then press enter. So now we've got this nice little tier of glass coming around the outside, and when we turn the render on, we can now see the back of it. I'm just going to go ahead and just make the background black. Maybe we can see this a little better. Oh, maybe not. Just about there. So now we can kind of see we've got this little chandelier going on. I think that's a better angle for you. So now we're doing this with every single tier. So let's see, what were we? I think we were 1 on that side. Let's just go to the object mode. Okay, so your next tier that you want to do, you want to take one of these crystals. Take the one that's either at this angle, the one from the bottom, or the one from the top, so you've not got an odd angle coming down into your next tier. So if we press Shift D, bring this down, the next tier is actually underneath this tier that we've just made. So this is where I was saying, if you want to start from the bottom, you can start from the bottom. If you want to start from the top, you can start from the top. Once you've got everything on the tier, you should be able to see everything. And I mean, you could lift these tiers up if you wanted to. Just box select all of this, just press G, and then you can bring it up to wherever you need it to be. Just make sure that you place it 2 squares away from where it should be. So I'm just going to take this one right here. I'm going to go into X-ray mode. So now we can see that we have the edge. We're going to go ahead, just use your vertices, your center scroll wheel to move this to where it needs to be. Make sure that it's flush, just at the side right here. We're going to go G, move this across. Make sure that you are flush on this side as well, where it needs to be. So it should be sat just on the corner right here. So now we're going to be doing our calculations again. So I've got them all written down right here for you guys so that I can quickly tell you what's going on. So we're going to go Shift D, move this across to the opposite side again. We're going to need to turn this around. So we're going to go rotate and 180. Press G, bring it into the center as far as you can go, and then we're going to select both of them. We will go Shift D, leave it where it is, rotate by 90, and then we will go and select all of these again. We will go Shift D, R for rotate, and we are 45. If you've noticed that I'm using number pad and I'm using the regular numbers, sometimes it's just easier for me to just reach up and tap the regular numbers, so don't worry if it says number pad, it's fine. It's just the way that I'm doing things. So the next calculation that we want is 22.5. So we're going to go Shift D, rotate, 22.5, and then we're going to go ahead and select everything once more. We have to do this for every single tier. So, you know, I'm going to be sat here droning on saying, yes, we need to do this. That central bar right there, 1 second. For some reason I had that selected. Don't select your central bar. I may have misclicked on that one. Oops. Yeah. That happens. Yeah, don't select that because it means that there's extra objects within your scene and you don't need that. So we're going to go rotate again. So we're going to go Shift D, rotate, and I think we were on 22.5 the last time. So what we should be looking for now is 11.25 for this one. And then we're just going to go around again. This is, it's tedious. Yeah, it takes a while. But I think if you've got the patience to do it, the reward is great. Let's go Shift D again. We'll rotate. And we will go 5.6, and you can do the 2.5 in that if you want to, just to make it a little bit more accurate. So now we have our second tier of the chandelier done. And everything is the same size. Now if we'd taken the original chandelier and we just shrunk it down, obviously everything's going to shrink alongside it. So if you want that consistency, you need to do the next tier. So again, let's select one of these on the side, or select one of these on the side. The reason why I'm not selecting the opposite side is because the ring is smaller than the last one, and obviously it will shrink in. So let's go with Shift D, move this down. So our second tier is right here, just underneath. I'm going to go G, bring it across. Just make sure that it sits and fits just where you need it to be. Just right there. Yeah, and then we're going to go Shift D across, duplicate. Now you might want to zoom in at this point because every single tier that we do is a little bit smaller. Now, I didn't minus the tiers or anything like that. So what I mean by that is when I was doing the rings, I just kind of planned it by eye. So you'll notice that some of these rings are actually a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller than what they should be, but that's okay. You know, we can work with that. If you wanted a little bit more consistency, you could say scale it by 2 or whatever like that. But for me, it was just doing it by eye. So if yours is a little bit more complicated than mine, it's fine. Just kind of carry on, and then we can amend the rings as we go down. So yeah, for this one, again, Shift D, keep it where it is. Want to rotate by 90. Now, as you get to the bottom, you might find that you run out of space. That's fine. We can drop some crystals if we need to. So we're going to go Shift D again. Rotate. I want to go 22.5, I believe. Oh, no, we're not doing 22.5. I'm on the wrong bit. Right, we are doing 45. 45. Getting ahead of myself. So the next one will be 22.5. So let's go with Shift D. Rotate 22.5. If you needed to backtrack, then just press the return button a couple of times for how many times that you put the number in. So if it's 12, hit it twice for those two numbers. Okay, so this one right here, we're going to Shift D, and this one should be 11.25. Oh, what happened? What did I do? I messed up somewhere. Hold on. Right, so 7 to heaven. Right, got all of these. Do we have a secondary one? No, we don't. Right, okay, Shift D. Keep it where it is. Rotate. Were we 11.25, I think? Yes. I must press something there. Shift. Let's select all these again. Right, so this one is going to be pretty tight around the outside. So this is the part where we're going to start dropping crystals. For this one, it might be a little bit tight. You might be able to get all the crystals in between, but for the next tier, we might be minusing a few crystals off to be able to fit them all in with a continued consistent size. So for this one, I think we were at 5.625. So let's go Shift D. Keep it where it is, rotate. And we were at 5.625 to make it a little bit more accurate. And you'll notice that they are just about touching. There is a little bit of a gap, but I wouldn't like to put that gap in for the next tier because it does look very full right there. If we just turn this on, you know, looks just like this. We'll put a little pole down the middle as well, so it looks like it's secured to something. So let me see. I'm just making sure, bit of a quality check. I'm a stickler for that. I actually do it as a job. Yeah, there you go. So a little fact about me. I I work in quality assessing. Yep, I think that should be okay. Yeah, so I actually, for a real-time job, I can't tell you where I work for legal reasons, but I assess products in my job to make sure that they're correct. So, yeah, I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, you know, I'm checking this right now. Let's go Shift A, bring this down. I'm checking this right now, and I'm like, I'm doing my job, like, I'm doing my day job, like, in my house. This is crazy. I enjoy it, though. I love it. Great. Right, so, we're on to the second tier right here. So, as I said for the last tier, we're not going to be able to get all of the crystals on, so we're going to miss a few crystals out, but I think that would be okay, because it gives the chandelier a little bit of character. So, we're going to go Shift D. Move this across, and then obviously do the 180 kind of thing. I'm just going to make sure this is facing the correct way, so we want to rotate this by 180. And then we're going to go G and move this to the side. So now we can't really see these very well because they're hidden by this one ring. So we're going to have to look at the side and just make sure that we're putting them into the right place. It's going to be a little bit tedious, but if you want to take this ring and you want to put this onto X-ray mode, go to here, viewpoint shading. We'll go to X-ray mode, so now you can see what's going on with this particular ring. We'll take these two. We will rotate these round. So if you're selecting as well, all you need to do is just box select underneath now. So yes, Shift D. We'll do rotating to 90. So that should be correct. I'm just going to check the crystals, make sure they're all facing the right way. The last thing that I want is to have to redo this tier. Okay, so we have all these selected. Put this on X-ray mode as well, so that you guys can see what's going on. Also, you can put this on wireframe too. Yes, 1 second. I'm just getting my calculations back up so that I do this correctly. So that you guys can get the crystals on to where you need it to be. So, right, so we've got this one at 90. We're going to go Shift D. Keep it where it is, and then we're going to rotate, and we will go 45. Select all again, and then we will Shift D, keep it where it is, rotate, and we will go to 22.5. This might be the last one that we can do, so we go Shift D. Oh, sugar. Rotate, I think. Oh, hold on. Shift D, yeah. And then we're going to rotate 1125, I think it was. I'm losing the will to live here. I'm just like, not entirely, but I'm just like, metaphorically, I am. Don't take that seriously. So this tier right here, it's like all the calculations in my head going like, have you done this calculation? Yeah, I think I did that one. So now we have this tier. This tier is finished. We can't get any more of the crystals inside of there. So again, we're going to go to the right angle crystal, wherever we can find it. It might be this one. Yes. So, Shift D. Bring it down to the second tier. And we've got 2 more tiers to do. After this one, so we're just going to get this right to the side, and you know the drill, we're going to get this to the side, we'll rotate this 180 on the other side, so rotate by 180, press G, bring it across, and then we're going to go Shift D, rotate, 90, take this one, Shift D, oops, stop moving. So Shift D, keep it where it is, rotate, and we're 45. And Shift D, rotate, 22.5, on. That's it. And I don't think we could get another crystal in there. Not really. Actually, you know, I could tempt it. See what happens. So we were on 45. So we go Shift D. I think we're on 4. No, sorry, we're on 22.5 even. Rotate this one. 1125. See if that one works. To a point it does. So, I mean, we could go with that. That looks okay. So, let's get this part with the right angle once more. Take this down to the second one, so Shift D. G, bring it across. Just to that edge right there. 180. And then we're going to go Shift D, keep it where it is, and then rotate on the Z-axis by 90. We're going to do the same thing, Shift D, rotate, 45, Shift D, rotate, 22.5. Let's keep this one at the side right there. And then we have one more tier to do. Oh, sorry, no. Do we? Yeah, one more tier. One more tier to do. So, Shift D, bring it down. I'm so glad we're at the bottom tier now because this is great. Shift D, move across, and then we're going to go rotate 180. G, bring it in. Take these two, and then we're going to go Shift D, keep it where it is. Rotate by 90. Keep this where it is. Shift D, rotate 45. Shift D, rotate. Can we get that 22.5 in here? Might be able to. It might just work. So, when all is said and done, that should be the chandelier. I'm just going to go ahead and add a plane at the bottom. You don't need to do this, but just kind of bring it out a little bit. So that is our chandelier that we've just made. So now we can put a little pole down the middle if you want to. Just go to add. We'll go to cylinder. Scale it out. And then shrink it in. Press G. Bring it up. You want to bring this pole, when you put it in, just to the bottom tier just here. So it looks like it's been hung from the ceiling kind of thing. Yeah. So take this and we can make this material. We can shade this smooth actually. Shade smooth, and then we can go to the material right here. We can go black with the material, and hopefully this is what our chandelier should look like. Now obviously your floor's not going to be that close, but I just wanted to kind of bring out some of that feature of the chandelier really. So yeah. Postmodern kind of chandelier kind of thing, I guess. Yeah, if you like this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, have a great day. Hi guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorials. Today we're going to be looking at depth of field and how to blur objects in the foreground and how to blur objects in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some shapes to this real quick. So basically, essentially what we're doing, we're messing around with the camera settings to make something blurred. So, sorry, 1 second, let me just get this on. Okay, so with your camera, if you already know how to set this to a point, we'll go ahead and just align camera to view real quick. So align camera to view, and then we can click the camera, press G, bring it across. So now if we're on the render tab right here, just make sure that your render is cycles. So we have these two objects right here. We've got a little bit of a light going on in the background, and we'd like to blur the object in the foreground and we'd like to blur the object in the background. So what we're going to do, go to the camera, and what you want to do is go to the wherever it's gone. So the camera tab right here, and we are going to go to depth of field, take this little dropper tool right here at the side, and just select your item. So what you want to do is mess with the f-stop under aperture, just underneath depth of field. So if we turn down the aperture, we notice that the object in the background becomes blurred, and if we increase the aperture, the object in the background is in detail. So if you want the foreground object to become blurry, all you need to do is go to here, click off the cube that you've already selected. We're going to go with the dropper tool again, and then we'll select the what do we have? The cylinder at the back, and now the cylinder is in focus and the square's not. So yeah, that's just a really quick kind of tutorial for you guys, based on depth of field. So you're just basically messing around with your f-stop, and then you can go ahead and get the dropper tool, or you can select a different item. So now that item in the background is blurred. Again, f-stop. I hope that was helpful. Someone was asking how did you do the blurred backgrounds and stuff, and that's how it's done. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, welcome guys to another Blender tutorial. So today we are making game engine stuff again. Just stuff for games really. You can transfer these into game engines via the appropriate manner. Today we're making cheese. So we're just going to keep the default cube, go into edit mode, and we're going to press G, bring it across, and then we're just going to scale it up sideways, I would say, and then we'll take this part of the front, and we're just going to press G, bring it forward a little bit, and then we're just going to scale it inwards. So with this cheese, with the edit mode, we can go Control R, just to loop cut right here. Just go to the top. And what we're going to do, we're just going to pull these vertices out a little bit. Sorry, undo your loop cut 1 second, I forgot to do something. So loop cut here. Well, let's go G, bring it back so that it's curved. And then we're going to curve this side, and then we're going to curve this side. So you just want to select these two, press G, bring them back. So we've kind of got this nice round, almost cheese-like look to this. So we want to go on all the flat planes right here. I'll just press G and bring it back, just slightly so that they curve round. They have a little thing. Now, the front vertices right here, if we take these and we just select them, you can scale this down just a little bit. So, just S for scale. Oops. Yeah. So, just S for scale so it looks like the cheese is sunken in the middle a little bit. So, what we want to do is Control R and make what we made before. So, what I'm going to do to begin with is I will remain on edit mode. I'm just going to go ahead and select all of these faces just on this side. We're going to go to the materials tab. The original material we should have as kind of a nice orangey yellow. Just here, we want to make it slightly metallic, but not too much. We just want it kind of rubbery looking. We're going to press plus. Add new, and then we're going to do the same on the other side, but a little bit of a deeper kind of texture. Press assign. If you've not changed over to the render of cycles, do so. So we're going to go to edit mode again. I'm just going to go ahead and select everything and then subdivide, 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 because at this moment we're going to put some holes in this cheese. So this is going to be just a basic kind of piece for a game, so to speak. We're going to switch over to sculpt mode. I'm just going to push in some of these corners and pull out some of the corners as well, just to make it a little bit rugged, just along the edges. So when you're in a game and you get some food or something, this can be something that you've picked up if it's quite a low poly game. Low poly speaking, so to speak. So it shows. But next, so I should say. Let's come around this side. Let's make a couple of bumps. I want to go minus, just for the holes in the edge of the cheese, to make it look a little bit more cheese-like. You could also go back onto edit mode. Oops. Go back into edit mode, and we can click right and subdivide this a little bit more. Go on to sculpt mode, and then we can start making these holes, and they look a little bit more detailed. We can shade this smooth afterwards, don't worry about the issues with that. Just put some little holes in this. Little holes up at the side, just mash it around a little bit, like it's been broken off. Just there. We can do the same to this side as well. Almost like it's been cut unevenly as well. Just kind of get some detail in there. So for this outside piece, we want to smooth this out. So you can also click smooth on this as well, just to make it less pixelized, but I want to pull some of these vertices out just a little bit on the sides. So we just pull this, almost like the wax hasn't quite broken properly. Just pull this out on the sides a little bit. A little bit of a rugged cheese cut. Put some little damages right here, like maybe a quality assessor came along and signed his name in it. Something. Yeah, just little scratches, little scrapes. So if we go to object mode, right click, shade smooth. We've now got this lovely little piece of, do you call it a dummy? With the holes in it, is that what it's called? I always see advertisements for it. Cheese of truth. So we could do a little bit more sculpting on this as well. Let's see, we could go to minus and just pull this side in a little bit. Maybe it's settled on one side. Some more holes. It's a religious cheese, it's holy. No? No takers. So, once you've got your cheese, this can be a great piece for a background prop or something in your game where maybe your character's walked into a, I don't know, a cheese factory or a pub or something, and there's like slices of cheese everywhere. I don't know why there'd be slices of cheese everywhere in a pub unless it was somewhere posh. Maybe you want to complement it with wine. Yeah, so that's our tutorial today for cheese. Do with it what you will, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're going to be making lollies or ice creams kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and start off with a cylinder what you want to do is rotate this by 90 degrees. We're going to just scale this in at the sides. And then we're just going to scale this up to kind of make a little popsicle kind of stick. And then from here we're going to go ahead and add a cube. We're going to scale this outwards. Let's see, we'll scale this just slightly this way. Bit of a short stick. I'll just pull this up a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is go to edit, take this top face right here, and we're just going to go E, bring it up, and then we're just going to start to kind of scale it in a little bit. E again, bring it up, scale it in a little bit. E, bring it up, scale it in a little bit. Oops. Just there. I'm also going to scale this side in as well. And then we're going to go E for extrude, scale it in. E for extrude, and then scale it into the top. So it's nice and smooth. E for extrude, I'll just do another one just at the top. Just to smooth that out a little bit. So I'm just going to add some loop cuts just right here. And then this bottom part right here that we have, we can just go E for extrude and then just scale it round. Just as such. So now, this little lollipop right here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to press G and I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, scale it down a little bit, and maybe scale it up. Just so we've got a little bit more of a rounded edge to that middle. Take this one and we'll shade this smooth, and we'll take this one and we'll shade this smooth. I'm just going to go ahead and just shape that down just a little more. Just so we've got that. So this one, we can have the wooden stick. Just go here, dark brown or maybe a light brown. And then this one, we can change this to kind of like a nice blue colour for a lollipop. I'm just going to scale this up just a little bit. So we'll put the roughness down on this just a little bit so it looks like it's kind of melting a little bit. Just slightly. So there's not much of a reflection, but it looks like it's melting. We can go into the shading tab with this. We can go for, maybe on this wood right here, we can go for noise texture. We'll go colour to base colour. And then we'll add a colour ramp into the middle right here. We go plus. And then we're just going to go with brown kind of tones just here. Scale this up just a little bit. And then we can also go and add a bump texture into here, just here. Colour to height. Now what I find, the more texture that you have on these, the lighter it is, the less texture you have on these, the darker it is. So whichever you want will depend on how light it is. So you can actually move this across as well. So on this one, I don't think we're going to need really much of a texture, but to be honest with you, I don't like the texture that I have on this lollipop stick right here. Just going to turn up the roughness slightly and then scale this upwards as well. Just kind of warp it a little bit as well. And then I'm going to turn down the strength just slightly as well. So we've got that nice little lolly stick in there. For the, I think we'll do some grease kind of thing on this. So we're going to go noise again. Noise texture, go colour to roughness. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but now we've kind of got these little bits on there. You see that going through right there? So we can turn up the roughness. So this will be almost like the ice kind of forming on the outside a little bit. So it looks slightly frozen. We can take the metallic up just slightly if you wanted to. So now we have a nice little lollipop that's a little bit frozen. I want to mess around with the sticker actually. Let's just go into edit mode just for one moment. And I'm going to take everything that's kind of from this side. See if I can do something with that. Let's go X-ray mode. Just going to go ahead and just shrink this in just a little bit just to bevel this off at the end. And then I'm going to press G and bring it down. And that is our game design lollipop. You can take this one as well, where the ice cream is. Go to modify it and we can go bevel. Just to give that a little bit more of a smooth texture. I think that'll do. So yeah, there's your game design lollipop. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.